Today's recipe can be made into a variety of desserts, from pudding to pie.
And here to share that recipe in our ciKitchen from the Family to Table blog, Natalie Kinney Marquez. Okay, are we on a pudding kick?
We are. I never thought I'd cook pudding 3 weeks in a row, but to my defense, the first 2 weeks of this pudding journey wasn't really pudding. We had the steamed chocolate pudding and the uncooked date pudding last week. Well, today is cornstarch pudding, and I promise it's real.
Okay.
Actual pudding.
I'm not going to lie. When we heard that we were making cornstarch pudding, it was like, that sounds interesting.
After this week, we'll get off the pudding kick, I promise.
Oh, I'm not.
I have no problem with pudding. The cornstarch part made it sound like it.
And that's what makes it thick. It's like a homemade, old-fashioned pudding. And so if you make pudding at home, you'll likely have some kind of thickening agent in there to get it to
bind and thicken up.
And that's what the cornstarch does in this case.
And it is, yep.
This looks very simple. We have relatively few things on the counter here. We have the double boiler, which
and I'm
very proud that I knew what that was. It can be taught.
Yep, and then we have 1 3/4 cup of whole milk in here warming up. And then we have an egg yolk, some vanilla in this bowl, and then we'll add it to this bowl if you don't mind.
Oh, sure, I can do that.
And
so there's no whites in here? We put the white somewhere else?
Yes, the white we'll reserve for later. And then in the dry bowl was sugar and cornstarch and salt. And so if you want to mix that together.
Is this me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not whipping it, I'm just mixing it?
Just mixing it, yep.
So 3 ingredients, cornstarch, sugar, and salt there we're seeing on the screen, and an
vanilla.
egg yolk. Oh, and some vanilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll add that to here.
Oh, how good does this have to be mixed, just so I don't see the lumps?
Probably a good idea.
There will be a few lumps in there, but I'll whisk it out.
There's always some lumps.
Okay, tell me the story behind this, because we have her her recipe card there that we saw.
Yep. So there's a couple of different recipes that she had for the cornstarch pudding, either in anticipation of making a banana pudding pie or to make this basic vanilla version. You can stick it in here. And it came from her Aunt Jane, which is actually my great-grandma Emmy Schwingel's Aunt Jane, and I've used some of her other recipes before, like the ham loaf that I made last year.
Yeah.
That was Aunt Jane's recipe, and there's a little note a few times where they say Aunt Jane was the best cook. So it's kind of special, but this is an easy way to make just basic vanilla pudding. You could add in some cocoa and a little extra sugar if you wanted to go with a chocolate pudding, or banana to make the banana pudding, the filling for your pie.
And so this just literally sits here and warms up, and then you cool it off and it's pudding?
Yes.
Seems too good to be true.
At the very end, you have the option of putting in a beaten egg white. So when I had just the yolk in here, the white is something you could beat into stiff peaks, so it becomes very firm, and then you fold it into the pudding. If you are against putting raw egg into it, you can leave that part out, but it does give it kind of a fluffy, whipped creamy consistency, but it doesn't, in my opinion, keep in the fridge for very long.
Okay, why use the double boiler? Why not just put it in the pan and stir?
So you don't burn the milk.
Oh.
You don't want to scald the milk or have it, you know, tasting burnt.
Okay.
Short story time. I remember when I was a kid, when I was in high school, my friend and I were taking 2 girls to prom, and we decided we were going to make them dinner. And so we were making rolls, and we, for the rolls, had to have just the yolk and not the white. And 2 17-year-old boys, no idea how to make that happen. So we were like trying to
separate it
like on the fly as it was going into the bowl. Still don't know how to do this. How do you make the separate? There's got to be a simple way to do that.
Well, I crack it, and then I let kind of the white fall out a little bit, and then I pour the yolk into the other side and just keep going back and forth.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do that either, so it doesn't really matter.
Although they do have like egg separators at kitchen gadget stores, but that's, to me, that's one more thing you have to clean.
Yeah, and who has enough space for that?
Sorry, I can't do anything with my left hand. I'm here trying to
You're doing just fine.
Does it have to be a consistent stir?
No, I just don't want it to burn on the bottom.
And how long does this happen? Did you say already?
About 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how big of a double broiler you have and how high you have that
My real concern is, are we going to get to try the pudding by the
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right.
And I even have little vanilla wafers to go with it.
Oh, wow.
Even
I'm excited
better.
already.
All right, I'm sure some of these ingredients are at the farmer's market.
Definitely the milk, definitely the eggs. So, for sure.
And there's a look at Natalie's Instagram, and her recipe is on ciLiving.tv, as well as links to her website, which include the links to her Facebook and Instagram. So check it out.
More links than you can shake a stick at.